So it's really interesting that people think that like spiritual awakenings are things that put you through hell before you can go. And I think that there's another way of doing that that's a lot more gentler. People almost have this badge of honor about their awakening being bigger because they went through a bigger hell.
That's an interesting observation. You're right, because we've heard people talk about, like, I even had to go to the emergency room, or I had to check in somewhere, and I didn't sleep for days on end. And that's interesting to observe, and not something that I've had to personally deal with in my process of waking up, even though waking up is sometimes difficult in the fact that when you realize things aren't how they're presented, it can feel a little devastating. Like I remember having times of quiet devastation, but also processing and working through that. Maybe my pillow at night is, getting a little wet with silent tears flowing, but I'm also processing and moving on to not staying in that moment and not feeling like I'm losing my damn mind or anything.
Right. I just think that there's a gentler way that spirit is. I don't think spirit is like this vicious force of you're waking up and I'm going to make you hit rock bottom in order for you to come up and change your vibration. Yeah, there is that grieving of a world that you once knew or an understanding that you once had. But I've been treated, good for me, maybe people think, but, I feel like there is a lot gentler way of doing it in that, I've even explained this in a spiritual circle once a few years ago that I'm just like, my awakening has been pretty gentle. And they're like, well, it's not an awakening then. So I was like, poo-poo on you because you're not going through hell. And it's like, well, yeah, life is kind of hell in its own course. I don't think that an awakening needs to be something that's so dramatically damaging to you. I think that, spirit, if there are things that you're not resisting, you're searching and you're looking and you're asking for things to be more gentler, you're going to receive it. But there's, it's that expectation as well. When people talk about like the spiritual awakening being like this, you just wait, you're going to go through hell, you're going to hit rock bottom, your whole life's going to change, everybody you love's going to leave you, you're going to look like you're crazy, people put these expectations on people. And so it's kind of that manifestation, I think, because if that's what you're expecting it to look like, and if yours isn't looking like that, then you're going to seek out those things or create those things in your life to make it true, to
like
fit the narrative.
Like a self-fulfilling prophecy that then becomes the reality that you experience. Yeah,
absolutely. And it, makes you wonder how much more we do that on other things, not just about awakening, but how much more are we doing this self-fulfilling prophecy because of the way other people have experienced things and the stories that they've told, and almost like this expectation that if you don't experience it this way, then you didn't experience it at all. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you haven't gone through an awakening. I was literally told that by a group of people that were supposed to be supportive and, spiritual.
It's interesting because it's actually the opposite of when I'm connected to spirit, what I feel. It's like, it's not judgmental. It's not a negative tone. It's certainly not judgmental, really. Let's just be real. Like, it's more supportive and let me hold you and help you soften during this process versus,
100.
Yeah. Let's think about the awakening and let's draw a card and see what we pull up. So let's focus our energy on just kind of
like the collective awakening.
No, I'm feeling kind of like just kind of the vibe in the air recently and what's going on, and to see if we can get any guidance or insight from pulling a card, Oracle pull.
I got my angel wisdom cards.
Ooh.
I haven't used these in a while, so I'm going to play with them for a second.
Mine is choose wisely, which is interesting because we were just talking about choose your path or choose what you seek, choose what you manifest, and choose wisely. Where, that idea of like where intention goes, energy flows. What are you choosing? It's an interesting card. I don't know if I've ever really noticed this card in this deck before. It's interesting.
So I got the moon, which is all about like trusting your intuition, and we have the full moon that's coming up, but also like paying attention to signs from the divine and unnecessary worry and letting go of your fear, revolutions that will make everything clear. So I think that that's a big part too, is sometimes we're held back or holding other people back from even trying to experience their awakening because they're scared of the process, because it's so fear inducing. We talk so bad about it that some people might start like this awakening process and be like, no, I'm not ready to do that yet. And it's because of the fear that's been built up, that unnecessary fear that has been installed in them. So it's almost like a gatekeeping technique of, people being like, oh, you don't want to awaken. I'm almost wondering if it is a gatekeeping technique that one person kind of started, and they're using that psychology of mine was worse than yours kind of story to induce fear in just ordinary people. because now it sounds like this horrible thing that people go through when it's actually can be soft and beautiful. And yeah, we always mourn and grieve what we used to know when we find something different. And when we start seeing the truth, it can be very shocking. But at the same time, you're supported and loved, and Spirit's there to guide you. And the full moon is here to let you release those fears and go ahead. And if you're feeling that urge for awakening, accept it.
That's right. Yeah. And not buy into the fear inducing, energies that are trying to keep you kind of suppressed at that lower frequency instead of rising and seeking and expanding and releasing. And choose wisely. So this card comes forth when you have a vision or a goal you want to achieve, but too many choices, scattered energies, and unrealistic expectations prevent you from attaining your desire. Opportunities are bountiful, but there's a decision that has to be made at this time. This card reminds you that the options now around you appear to have all the influence and power, but in reality, you're in control and responsible for all the choices you make. So take time to think, analyze, carefully look at the different possibilities that are in front of you. Don't be hasty because you feel pressured, and don't be influenced by people who have no idea, expertise, or education in the area of your choices. A focused, wise decision far outweighs one made emotionally or in desperation.
Ooh, I love that. This is the angel wisdom. So it always talks about an archangel. And so this is Archangel Hanel, is associated with the subconscious, the intuition, and divine gifts. She can help you see the truth in any situation. You are an amazing, intuitive, and divinely gifted person. It's natural at times to become aware that something is at work in the universe that you don't have complete clarity about. You may be getting signs in the form of synchronies, psychic hits, and nighttime dreams that seem particularly vivid or powerful. Don't let this worry you and allow fear to take over. Instead, ask your angels to give you clear messages that are easy to understand. Pay attention when your intuition tells you that something or someone isn't quite what it seems. Bask in the glow of the magical moonlight and allow your divine gift to guide you. Know in your heart that all will be revealed very soon. If you feel you need help, draw another card or have someone else do a reading for you. If any part of your life no longer feels right, then trust your feelings and make the necessary changes. Know that in the grand scheme of things, your worry is unnecessary and your fears unwarranted. If you are tempted to let those emotions take over, shove those temptations aside. Be confident that your gifts have brought this matter to your attention, and you'll soon know all there is to know. It's beautiful.
So choose wisely and don't let fear be your guide.
Love that.
Love it. That was good.